any money. But I mean, I don't. I mean, I make some money. I make 1,000 a year. If you could call that money, I don't know. To me, that's like basically mowing lawns or something. But okay. And I don't know, like that's and then we do report and pay taxes on the 9 grand that the government sends me. But they know all that. They know all that. Then the government knows that the government's sending me 9 grand a year. So it's like taxes are easy for me. But it's sort of it's like it's weird. Like, will they trip it at some point in 20 years because I wasn't reporting the $1,000 that I got as a streamer? Now I expected to maybe make $300 so far, but it actually was like I think 1,500 or 2 grand now, something like that. Every time the Twitch payout comes, it's a bit more, and I don't usually talk about money like this, but it's just like it's so little amount of money that I think it's okay. We're talking here about $1,000. I wish it was more, but I also don't, because it's like it's easier without the problems. Honestly, it's easier without the problems. I'm happy to play 3-4 games at once. Look, I'm playing 4 games at once right now, and I'm not kidding. Actually, and I'm not playing them hardcore, but playing 4 games at once right now. I've really reached my peak. I think it's good, and I don't know. I don't know. Will they trip later on? I think what's likely to happen is, I don't think they'll ever trip on me because I paid taxes and I reported every year for a long time. So I don't know. Like, I don't think they'll trip on me. I'm not hidden anything. So it's sort of like, but I get scared of it because I'm like, how do you report $1,000? I mean, I told them I had PayPal income and I told them what the number was, but I'm scared that they're listening to me. I'm scared. And now I kind of want to I want to take a copy of the PayPal. I think I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to take a copy of the PayPal income and I'm going to fucking send it to the government so they can see it. What I don't want them saying is, oh, 10 years has passed by. Now you're some kind of bigger streamer than you ever thought you would be or something. And I fear that. I don't want it. It's why I sing badly. It's why I don't care about to advertise. I don't care about taking sponsorships and I don't want raids. I don't care. I don't want other people involved in this. This is my little baby. I don't care. And what I don't want them saying is like, oh, for the first 3 to 5 years of your career, you had so little income that you didn't report it, but you didn't report it. And I was like, no, I did though. I wanted to be able to tell them, but I did though. I sent you the pictures of the income, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. Oh no, that's a scary sound. What's this now? What was that? I don't want to know. Shouldn't ever hear that sound. That sound made me fucking nervous. What was that? What aggroed? What aggroed and why? Man, hardcore make you nervous, even standing up in the goddamn bank. Hardcore make you nervous. Okay, we're going for a scab run again. I've been doing a lot of customs. The one that I know best is woods, so I'll just go to that for a bit. Yeah, 1042 is great in woods. That's a good time. Do I need to buy anything? No. And, okay, get to it. We farming, we producing, we making, we doing this. Let's go look at the calendar. We have a rust wipe coming up here on Thursday. Oh, sorry, Thursday the 5th. Yeah, Thursday the 5th. So we still do have another 8 days, which is good. I got time. That'll take 2 days out of my schedule, kind of, but not really. It'll definitely take me away from hardcore for a little bit. I saw on the Rust login that they're selling server server ownership right on the main page, and I did consider maybe seeing if they can manage to add a zombie mod like Night Zombies to my own server. And if they'll host it, that's my main issue. Is I want them to host it for really cheap each month. I bet it's probably pretty cheap. It's like $10 or something. If I could pay $10 to host my own zombie server, I definitely would. Because while I like what he's done with the zombie server, the amount that it changed has definitely lowered the frame rate, and I've noticed now that I kind of do want like a 7 or 8,000 sized map, not this 15,000 that he's got going, because it's like double the fucking frame rate, or sorry, it's like half the frame rate, something like that. The thing about that a lot with my own Rust server, that might be fun to run in the background. That might just be the, if I don't have to do all the bullshit of like loading it every day. I mean, I don't know. I think my server's set up. All I have to do is patch it. I mean, it's like I have to return to the process and remember it. But I think my own server's set up, and it's not that hard to run. It takes like 5 minutes. But once you get in, you're like, oh, it doesn't have enough mods, and it's not really the modded experience I want. I don't know.
Drive active.
I keep finding myself understanding that I'm like in it alone, and it's annoying. I don't have to be in my personal life, but I do in my business life. I'm in it alone. To me, my image and business are the same thing, and I'm in it alone. So anytime somebody irks me or something like that, I just leave, because I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, that's just not what I'm after here. I'm not after feeling fear from the corp. I'm not after feeling insecurity or anything like that. I don't like the fucking abuse, and I want it to end. I want it tied to their social. Like, constant harassment should be tied to their social. And it's weird because I pitched something so fascist there. I did. But I mean, like, I believe the internet is become this terrible place, kind of, because there's no rules, you know? It sucks. There's no rules. You have to, like, convince people to not do it to you, honestly. That's about the only rule there is. It's that you have to convince people not to abuse you. It's very difficult. It's hard to do. When you're this abrasive fucking piece of shit personality, you know? You just don't get along with most people. It's a tough thing. As I left the corp, I was like, yep, none of this is anybody's fault but mine.
Well met.
I acknowledged the point. They were right. I ran out of thread again. I have to buy more thread, but at least I have silver to do so. We're getting towards the end of the town business, and then I can leave. Go do the combat. I came over here because I have to buy thread. Yeah. You and your busy work.
Best deals in all of Stormwind, my friend. Now what can I help you with?
I need thread. I heard none tell you sell it.
Just browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you with?
Browsing your wares. Saucy. This is fine thread. Is that really what I need? I think it's coerce thread is what I need. There we go. Okay. 20. There we go.
Farewell.
I've noticed that if I exercise each day, I have a lot more like self-control and ego and strength. Like, I have a lot more self-esteem or something. I don't know what it is. It's not the image. It's this idea that I'm not neglecting anything. I've done my family life correctly. I'm there when they need me. I've not neglected my body anymore. I'm taking care of my body. I have a good diet. I'm exercising every single day. I don't find myself lacking in ways where when somebody attacks me on the internet or something like that, that I feel myself lacking, or that I have some kind of shortcoming. I don't. I conducted myself well with the system. I conducted myself well with the women. I've conducted myself well with almost everybody but these piece of shit nerds on the internet. You know, I give them hell if they give me hell. And I just don't feel shame like I used to, being like a drug addict or, unemployed, but no goals or anything, you know? And, I guess I was neat for Like, I don't know. Well, no, I had a job, though. I mean, I did. I had a job. I mean, I was homeless for 7 years, and I guess you could call me neat during that thing. But, I mean, I worked almost through the whole thing. Construction and driving and all kinds of stuff. I worked that whole time. So, I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't really say that I was ever, like, a neat. But unless I was, like, playing WoW and raiding and stuff. I guess. That was the one time I was. But now I worry about that all the time. I'm like, I need validity in everything that I do. If I'm gonna love somebody, I need validity in return. It's all of it. It's all of it. Even a woman is like that. Like, I'm now strong enough to understand if I am in love and I'm emotionally unavailable, but I'm in love with an emotionally unavailable person, and they might love me even, but we're not together. It doesn't matter. It's sort of like, it's still sort of abusive. And so I'm now learning to just not be, I'm okay with being emotionally unavailable as a streamer, as a business person, as as my job. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being totally emotionally unavailable in terms of, I don't want any assistance. I don't want a clan. I don't want a guild. I don't want a co-op. I don't want to, I like having a duo, co-op to do single player games and stuff, but there's never enough time. There's just never enough time. And while I can be emotionally unavailable in my business and public life, I don't wish to be in my personal life, but I have been for a long time. Just left my friends to die, pretty much, I would say. I just left my friends to die. Friendships that I cultivated for 26 years, I just left them to die, pretty much. I just left them to die. I would say that's pretty much the exact phrase for it. I pretty much left my friendships to die. And so now I look at, I just took on this goal of being like the best person in the world at something. I tried to be the best in the world at something, and now I'm this broken person with nothing left, and I'm okay, but I just don't, I'm totally personally fine, but there's all these rules that I had to like build for myself and my life and my business and my people, my family, my friends, all these people. I was far too insane by the end of it. I was like far too insane. I don't know how else to say it. I was just far too fucking insane to be there for them, and that has stayed that way for 5 years. When I lost everything and everybody, I just sort of...
Can I help you? Perhaps you can help us in the battle for Nomaregan. In Stormwind, you will find the commander of our underground assault crew, Shoni the Silent. Shoni needs assistance with her gyrodrillmatic excavationators. You will probably find her amongst the dwarves in Stormwind. Good luck, adventurer.
And, and I have been distant in my personal life. I've been distant from everybody. I have disassociation disease. I got it from Marilyn Manson off one of his albums. I know where I got it from. This song called Disassociative. And I am disassociative. Now, what was that sound? Oh, you were disconnected from inactivity. Okay. Well, sorry. I don't want to disconnect from inactivity. I want to go to Woods. I thought you loaded, no? Okay, load again, damn it. And I don't think that... I need to change much, but my distance in my personal life is okay. When I pull back from humanity, I think it's okay, and I think it's okay for my business and my stream too. But I don't think it's okay for my romantic life, and I'm going to return to the dating pool like today. Which is intimidating to me because I don't really have the time. I have maybe Saturdays and Sunday evenings if I make them. And I have like evenings, and the girl can sleep at my house if she wants, and I own a home and whatever. But I don't have the availability in my mind. And I've been working on it mentally now for like a year. I've been trying to... No, wait. I am in the Deep Run tram. I am currently at Iron Forge. Yeah, this was right. Yeah, this is right. Yeah. So... Yeah, and I'm like... I'm on this one-way train going one direction like this, like my man CeeLo say. If life was a painting, I would paint myself going in one direction. And I don't know what to do to change my current like loadout or whatever to adapt to a life where I can share with others. I have been selfish for goddamn 13 years or something like that. I chased everything that I wanted to do. I chased only my dreams, and I don't believe that... Well, I don't know. I chased the dreams of other people too, but I mean, like, but I don't believe I'm available even for maybe a mate still. It's kind of crazy. It's like... I don't know. Do I have the time? Will they be like, no, your job is your lover? I think they will when they understand that I've got 105-hour weeks and it's and that it'll be difficult. I don't know. I can freely dump the stream anytime that there's a real life obligation. I can freely just do that. And that is an autonomy that I have not lost. But I get intimidated by it. I'm like, I don't know how this will go well. I don't know how it'll go well. I have some fear of it. There's no assurance that it'll go well. I have to go out there and put myself, take that leap of faith again, where I'm like, will my schedule and this obsession that I fucking have, this obsession that I have with this stream.
But perhaps you can help, adventurer. Deep in the dead mines is a functional goblin shredder. Find that shredder and bring back the intact power supply. With the shredder's power supply, we can give our gyro-drill-matic excavationators the power they need to break through the rocky underground borders of Nomaregan, opening the way for a gnomish assault.
Okay, sure.
What's on your mind?
We were deep in a vast mine in Westfall, hidden beneath a barn in Moonbrook. No clue where these stinking thieving types came from. Anyway, the mine tunnel collapsed on us. I got out, but the others... Well, the others haven't been heard from. You look like you might have better luck in them. If you could look for your brother, I'd be thankful.
I'll have better luck.
He's carried his Explorer's League badge. You can't find him. That badge would at least give me some peace of mind.
Oh, I'm in.
Many of my
Very good.
perished that horrible day when the
Oh, that water doesn't look that good.
If your adventures happen to bring you into that wing of the mine in Moonbrook, please keep an eye out for any signs which might identify them. If you come across any of their miners' union cards, bring them back to me, and I'll make sure their families get some resolution from this horrible accident.
This is an SMG. That's not too good. I don't stand too good of a chance here. No, this sounds too obtrusive. I have to, like, turn it down. Yeah, put it down to, like, a sane amount, like 40 or something like that, where it sounds normal. That's good enough. Like a road or something. No map is a decision that I just never really understood. But I mean, it is cold. It's hard. There's something. Usually there's scavs here, but... Lordy, I wish I had a fucking flashlight. Oh, metabolism, huh? What the fuck? Nice, have a nice piece of headwear. Ooh, Kalishnikov. Nice. Ooh, sidearm. Oh, this bag's bigger. Yeah, good loot. Oh, oh. Okay, you were gonna stab me or what? Okay. I don't know. Oh. Where was this other bit? Submachine gun. Attack rig. Nice, lots of room. I think the submachine or bolt action shotgun. Nice. That yeah, that'll drop somebody. Nice. Ooh, bolt action shotgun, sweet. Okay, so where do I go now to escape? Like maybe the nuclear things? I don't know. Bolt action shotgun is probably not as good as the Vepr. 2. What's wrong with 2? Oh no, do I hear somebody? Why won't you switch to this weapon? Why won't you switch to it? You are not switching to it. There you go. I heard somebody and I don't want it. What was that sound? $50. What? .12 gauge shotgun. Probably a lot better than that one. is fun. I'm learning. Why didn't you run past me? It's confusing how the AI acts. Isn't it a single player game? Why would the AI not shoot at me? It's stupid. Yeah, I lost it. Fish goose. Wait, fish goose? What is fish goose? What is a fish goose? Oh, fish goose. Oh, woods. It's a bear? Oh, it's a player? Oh, no, question marks. I don't really understand what's happening. I killed 2 players, but I thought this was PvE. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I dropped a lot of guns for him. I have no idea what's going on. Now, have I done all the quests here? Oops. No, there's... Oh, yeah, Snatch and Grab. I don't want to do that one. So, oh, there is one up there. Oh, no, Fight for Warsong Gulch is no good. And so, yeah, I believe we are good. We are good. So I can finally leave here. I did my fishing and cooking, so my cooking is at 136 now, and my fishing is at 1 something. I'm not really sure what. Like, let's go see fishing. Fishing is at 126. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I've caught up my professions and everything. I can freely leave town without... Oh, I need to put this stuff away, I guess. But that's it. That's all I have to do. I can leave town. Well, that was fun. It was kind of annoying. So, what is PvE? I don't really understand it. There's a messenger. Oh, yeah. There's a survey and the flea market. There's the traders and the flea market. Oh, there's a flea market now? Oh, yeah, there is, huh? So, what's the plinking ammo? It's 20 by 1mm discs. By 18mm, 75. Okay. Well, let's go to the hideout. I haven't been to the hideout in years. That'll be fun. Oh, my antisocial ass left my last... That's the last organization. It's the last one that I belong to, and I'm going to leave it all. Like, looking at my Discord... Yep, I've got nothing left. There's like nothing left. There's like Horizon, honestly. And the only reason I come on Horizon is so I can like see if I'm just gonna leave this one too. Or he made me like the leader and left, I guess. I don't know. So this one I just want to like kill. Can I kill this one? Nope. I don't know. That one's gonna stay there for a while, but so yeah, I believe we're good. We're running out of space, which is a problem. But it is alright. Oh, you can change hold shift to drag. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. What layer I'm on? Oh, you can change layers. Oh, disable layer. Next no current, no current, no current. Copy, paste, options, disable layers, layer map. Okay, well, I don't know, but okay. Put you up here a little bit. Welcome to the hideout. Welcome to your personal hideout. For now, it is an old bomb shelter clogged with rubbish, but by making an effort, you can make it a full-fledged underground base with everything you need for comfortable living. You can use items or resources you found in raids or purchase to build and improve various areas of the hideout. Many of which will give you special bonuses and abilities, increased rate of off-raid, health generation, energy and hydration, boosted skills leveling, the ability to craft various items. Escaping from Tarkov can take quite a while, and you need a place where you can regroup and regain strength. This is the place, your hideout. See, the RP of this place was cool. So the first thing that we do is we buy a... I want the shooting range, but it's not there. Okay, well, vents. You say the vents are ready to construct. Construct. Level 2, we'll take metal spare parts, CPU fan, car battery, and electric motors for vents. Okay, well, we have vents in here. Stash. Oh, yeah, current bonus stash size 10 by 68. Open stash. Okay. Stash upgrades. Stash upgrades available for purchase on the website. Maximum stash is 10 by 68. Okay. The workbench requires construction of items that I don't have because I've got to survive scav runs and stuff. Rest space, heating. Now these are locked, but how do you unlock them? 25,000 ruples and 2 classic matches. Energy regeneration rate. Okay. So this is cool. So in my gamma pouch was stuff that I saved from the last raid. We're going to dump it all. I guess I will do a, yeah, how do you do this? It's like, yep, and what I will do is I will take one weapon into PMC, that's it, like weapon and ammo, and that's it. Everything else I'll get off of scavs and stuff. And, yep, so here's a 9x19 submachine gun. It looks like it sucks. I don't want to take any armor or any bags or anything. I'm just going to take, like, a gun. This was 9x19. This is a 9x19 submachine gun, Navy 3-round burst. Okay, we'll take an MP5 out. That's a good weapon. I'm used to it. Item is slot is not empty. Oh, I guess I'll need a... I will need a chest harness, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, the tack rig. So that I can bring enough ammo to kill people, which will be not much. Like you... Oh, all I need is like what, 2 mags, right? But I do need 9x19 FMJ. There, probably 100 rounds. What else? That's it. I think right now I don't think I want to do anything else because I believe I can get everything off of other people. And we'll go back to woods and we'll try to memorize woods. And when we're bored of woods, we'll leave woods. I have 22 minutes on a scav run. Skycat back. When the other games suck me in, the scav runs will come back up. I liked Tarkov. I believed in it. I bought it the day it came out. I believed that it would be a good title, and I did really have a lot of faith in it when it first came out. But then, like, all the cheaters and the bullshit. Every time I got in a fight, I was like, okay, well, I killed one guy, and the second guy domed me before he possibly could have actually humanly done so. And you're like, okay, well, it's fun, but every time I run into another player, it's like a 50-50 as to whether I lose 45 minutes. And that's cool if you have a base like Rust and you have something to do like PvE grinds and stuff. But in a PvP only game, that's actually kind of boring to lose like 25 minutes every time you see some dude. Or 50%, 50% of the time, you know, it's like 50-50 kind of. If he sees you, you know, you lose. If you see him, you win. You know, it's... Whoever sees the other guy first. It was a good game like that, but it lacked like the Fallout. Like this is like now it plays like Fallout a little bit. Like you go in there and you're like, okay, I'm in an extraction Fallout situation, and there's mobs running around that may not fire me at first because it makes no sense, but. Begin a raid as your main character, and next you can do everything necessary to escape from Tarkov alive. I think I've been killing PvE scavs, but I don't really know the difference. And I don't care, frankly. Wow, look, there's all these levels I've never even been to. I've never been to Ground Zero or Interchange. I've only been to Shoreline, Reserve, Factory, Customs, and Lighthouse at Woods. I've not been to the Lab, Ground Zero, or Streets of Tarkov, or Interchange, or Terminal, or anything like that. You know, I want to try a setting right now just to see what it does, which was Streets of Tarkov lower texture resolution mode. The cloud quality doesn't need to be high. The shadows don't need to be high. Texture quality does, and the overall visibility needs to be really far. And yeah, and this is good enough run to try and survive. We'll go to Woods since that's the one that I'm used to. I don't know if it still gives you a timer in PvE, but it's 3 p.m. Yeah, current weather conditions is windy. 3 p.m. in your progress is not saved. Next. Select insure. Oh, can I insure this weapon? I guess so. Therapist or Papor 135. Insure this guy. 6486. That is not worth it. Nope. Back. Back. Ready. No, just ready. I don't care. Wow. Scroll C is smooth crouch. Select magazine. Command gestures. Mumble taunt phrase. Free look. Oh, free look is on mouse, but I don't really want that. Oh well. So now I should have my nice Agi cloak that I sent. No, not yet, huh? That seems odd. Did I send it? Yeah, I think I did. I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you.
How generous.
What happened to that cloak? It should have arrived by now. Maybe we're still like 55 minutes out or something like that. I'm just going to go check. That cloak is actually a serious upgrade, enough that I kind of want to wait for it almost. This Galente shuttle is just sitting here. It's stupid. Exfil, Factory Gate Co-op, CBO 14, Bridge VX, and Outskirts. I have no idea where I'm at. If you successfully extract, it should undo your stab cooldown. There's stuff that they could have done to make it better. Oh, shit. I don't see this guy. And I don't know. So, but I've been shot pretty badly. I'm gonna go the opposite direction of him. And just pray that I don't die. I didn't get shot that badly. I'm going to bleed out because I got shot by a sniper pretty much immediately. Well, them's are the breaks, I guess. Maybe I can just extract. I don't know. If I follow this road, maybe I can extract. I don't know. Maybe there's meds around. Item incompatible. I don't have a way to store it. Oh, yes, I do. Wait. Item is incompatible. What do you mean item is incompatible? is this? PSV ammo pack, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bleed out. Yep. It sucks. I got shot by a sniper right off the bat. That's Tarkov. You see why PvP makes this game impossible? It's already bullshit if you get shot as it is. If you add cheating and bullshit ass sweats into it, it makes the game unplayable. One shot and you're pretty much out. See it? I mean, I wasn't wearing armor, but yeah. Well, I'll lose the gun, but I'll make it out with a battery and stuff. That's all right. It's a good trade. Items incompatible. Okay. Oh, wait, there's the extraction. Maybe I can leave. Am I going to die? No, yeah, I'm going to die if I don't move. Oh, well. Let's go. Let's extract. Oh, tell me it's an extraction. I see the green smoke. Why won't you let me extract? What? What? Why won't you extract? Extract, damn it, extract. No, no. Why won't you extract? There's a green smoke and everything. You're stupid. You're stupid. Well, now what? Oh, come on. Let me extract. Let me extract. Come on, let me extract. Let me extract. Oh. You suck. Fucking annoying. What's that sound? Well, I better put the body where I can recover it from. You know, I better put it like right at the green smoke. I'll be like, yep, I left it at the green smoke right here at the... I'm gonna die right here. Got pegged by a sniper in the first goddamn 90 seconds. The fuck was that? See, this game, some of the stuff about it. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay, I sent the cloak. Oh, nice. I made 50 silver off the pattern heavy ball. Money out of nowhere. Yep, I'm out. I want to go back there with a PMC and just pick up my body, maybe, if I can. It won't spawn me by there again, though. But I can try. Gives me something to do while I wait for scav, you know? Killed in action. Yep. Next, next, next. I got something out. Apply your character's full health. Next. Quite good. Nope. Nope. Stop overloading. do it? Yes. There it is.
Text-to-speech set to enabled.
Mama says, when I say main I mean my bank.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put the screen away in these lesser nethers.
King's honor, friend. Be careful.
Hakus has invited you to join a group. Dungeon difficulty set to normal.
Hacho says, +3 agi to cloak. Skycat.live says, yes to lesser nethers. Hacho says, yup yup.
You have requested to trade with Hakus.
Dumptard yells, Hacho. Dumptard says, I forget the name.
You have requested to trade with Hakus.
Skycat.live says, lesser agi I think. Skycat.live says, IHTPO. Skycat.live says, OTIP asterisk.
You have requested to trade with Hakus.
25 silver.
Hacho says, XD.
Thank you.
Hacho says, tidy. Hacho says, appreciate it. Skycat.live says, thank you would ignore if I AHD it. Skycat.live says, give head asterisk. Hacho says, NPNP. Skycat.live says, CA.
You leave the group.
I don't have it. That's a third of my liquid. But I got what I needed. Oh, yeah. I just pulled 5 extra strength on my bracers and 3 extra agi on... Well, 5 extra agi on my cloak. So I'm about to do even more damage, and it's, like, good. I'm in a good place. It's good. It's good. Now, so... What else?
Thomas Miller says, freshly baked bread for sale.
I need Minor Beast Slayer, but I don't know how expensive it is.
Sichi-sun says, minor wizard oil anyone want this? 1 free bottle of wizard oil. Topper McNabb says, spare some change for a poor blind man? What do you mean I'm not blind? I'm not blind. I can see. It's a miracle.
Yep.
Auction created.
Chunk of boar meat.
Auction created.
Yep. And are we good? Yeah, I believe we're good. We can go out of town now. We got everything I wanted. Oh, I got what I wanted now. Oh, does it feel so good? 'Cause I got it what I wanted now.
These great beasts know paths that you can't find on foot. They'll get you there fast and maybe show you something new at the same time.
Sentinel Hill. Yeah, that's where I'm going, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I pulled some more money than I expected. I don't think there's anything I'm missing. No, we have potions and everything. Okay. With hardcore, you have to be careful. You have to be very careful. Now, 5 minutes on Scav. I could go in there to PMC again, I guess. But right back to Woods again. At 5 p.m. Next. Ready. I'll just run in and see if I can go recover my body from where I fucking tried to extract and do my run. 45 seconds till Sentinel Hill. It is the middle of the night. I'm gonna keep fucking crafting. The grind has consumed me. It has definitely consumed me. Wah, 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 wah. Now you have the wrong target or wrong title. Why? Fucking so annoying. Wrong title. Why? Wrong title. Why? Oh, my tablet is off. Yes. Tablet is off. You are the only exception. You are the only exception. EFT. Save. Trying to up PV. Yeah. Good.
John Kim says, we found the messenger.
I have a knife. I don't know where I am. There's a
says,
tank. And I want to run to... Can I stab a scav to death and take his weapon? I believe I can. But, so, I don't know where this exit is from here. We'll try running this way. I'll try to learn more of Woods as I go. Oh, that's not too good. Oops, where are you, friend? I don't know. Out. All I lost was a knife. Oh, right on. Headshot, huh? How much is this? 475,000. Total sum to pay is 0. Apply. Oh, good. It's free to repair. Okay, good. Because I'm like level 1. Yeah, don't charge me. I do like the game. I do. I think it's fun. You know. It has its problems. Like this. What's it doing right now? There you are. It's still a beta version. Oh, man. Well, I guess I'm glad that I got my EOD money's worth. No. Okay, Escape from Tarkov's Scav is coming up. I don't care about that one machine gun I lost. It's fine. I'll go out and get some more. Next, I have a shotgun appears. If I have a shotgun, I'll probably still go to woods. Yeah, next, 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. Start looking for a group. Ooh, can I? Well, ready. Oh, good. Notice that when the harassment ended, the death ended. See, it's kind of funny. Life's funny
You are now
like
AFK,
that.
away from keyboard.
The death ends when the harassment ends. Which is worse, the death or the harassment? I think it's actually the harassment. It's funny. So anyways, so now. It's fun to implode because of PTSD and leave all of the organizations in your life. It's fun. Bro was turning up to some prevention. Unfortunately, the boss was his top hater. I don't know what that means. Third person. Oh, yeah, FT. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. Yeah. Concord deserves to die, but only because it isn't good.
What up, friendos? Welcome.
Hi, Kira. Thank you for the excellent content for my stream. I've liked and sub to your channel.
Thought a couple of days ago I was going to prove the internet wrong, right?
Yeah,
Because
right. It's the internet. You can't win a fight on the internet. I didn't try to fight I didn't try to win a fight on the internet today. I just left the fucking field of battle. I was like, yeah, he's got a valid point about that. Maybe I should fear my corp, and I left. I was like, okay, if that's the point that you're gonna make to me when I mentioned about constant harassment is that it's probably coming from the corp. Okay, I'll take your fucking word at it and leave the corp. You know? Yeah. I'll take your word.
Cost Sony hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of
and
millions.
it's a terrible game. And I thought, you know, if these people played it, because almost nobody has, are they using this as like a way to just laugh at a big company failing and the game's actually okay? And there's just things around it that have made it fail.
No,
And
it's probably
obviously that would
bad.
have
It's
been a
probably
good
bad
video.
like Redfall.
But unfortunately, I can't tell you that you were wrong. At least most of you. If you were somebody who felt like this game failed
There's a
because
probe.
of current social or political
Now
or
I have
whatever
to dock.
messaging, you were definitely wrong. But everyone who just said the game's not very good, you were completely right. So we're going to use this video instead to go over...
Damn it. Damn it. Now I have to dock for 15 minutes. It's so annoying.
Not only my thoughts and feelings after having actually played the game, and thankfully getting a refund for it after.
I love playing like a scumbag and never losing anything to anybody and pulling billions out of it. Isn't that supposed to be what you do? And when you don't trust somebody, you leave, and, and it's like, I'm such a scumbag, I'm disloyal. And when I don't trust somebody or like somebody, I just leave. And it's like chaos. It's like it's true chaotic neutral. I don't care. I don't care to do it. You know. Fuck. I wish Neverwinter Nights would work. It does work, but it's like not a very good game. It's unfortunate. It's all dark, and there's like gunfire already in the first 5 seconds. I'm just gonna hide here till the lights come up, or whatever. This isn't a very good place to hide. Ah! Oh, do I have a light? No, I don't have a light. Where would be a good place to hide? Like, back here?
Anyone want to run RFC in a bit?
Yeah, they'll have to enter my shotgun range to get to me, essentially. So yeah, if they come to me, they'll come to me. I'm just going to wait for the sun to rise a little bit. I like the RP of Waiting for the Sun to Rise. I wish they would just connect all of it and do the hideout for real and make it a real world, and it would be a really good
Like
game.
Flash says, type.
Okay, let's go out
You
to
are no
the
longer AFK.
hardcore. We are going to Murloc Eyes and Okra. Okra? Okay, Okra. So where am I going now? Murloc Eyes, huh? Okay. Well, is there anything I need to do? Oh, I have a turn in. Okay. I'll go north. When I think of this game, though, I like the single player mode, and I think it's actually pretty cool, and I'm glad I have it. But I'm gonna move this to my F drive, and I'm gonna consign it to the history basically, because you still don't have base building in it, and it's not really a sandbox. It's just a few levels that are well done, mind you, but you know, a few levels. That's it. It suffers from, like, you know, open worlditis, where it needed it so badly, and the levels should have been opened up and connected, and the whole thing should have become a big open world. Instead, I'm like, I got to queue for 7 minutes to get in one particular level. Yeah. Am I cold, or, I mean, what's going on here? What's that sound and what's going on? You got like a little lighter. I wonder if my original machine gun is still at that place. The hell was this? Where is this idiot? I heard him. I think there's evidence of bad AI here. Like, they're hitting from really far. It sucks not having, like, a firearm. Oh, this is the... I can sense, like, a PvE battle going that direction, but it's weird. I hit a post. Yeah. Oh, but... the post was good. It kind of saved me. Wow, this gun had a lot more rounds than I thought. Last shot. Where is this other asshole? Damn. Oh. You said 50. You said 50 to me. You said 50 for rounds or whatever. And I went to go fire and it was nothing. Why? Okay. I don't think this is my game. It's like too military, too violent. It's fun. I enjoy the game, but it's not... It's not going to fit the roster, unfortunately.
Aggro.
You receive loot, okra. You receive loot, hops. You loot 31 copper.
Hey there. Farewell.
These
Safe
are just
travels.
perfect adventurer.
Experience
Thank you
gained,
so
900.
much. Farmer
See you
Saldine
around.
and I
You
are
receive
going
item,
to
core
feast
test liver
tonight.
PIEX3.
And here is a little something
You
for
receive item,
you
recipe,
for the
core
hard
test liver
work.
pie.
You didn't think I was
You have
going
learned how
let
to
an
create a new
adventurer
item,
like
Gory
you
Task Liver
go
Pie.
hungry, did you?
Okay, we got a nice safe house here where I can base. This was fun, and I like it, but it's... and I wanted to experience it, but it's not my game. I feel confident in leaving this game in the past, honestly. And that's unfortunate. I think it's a great game, but it's not like... It did not graduate to what I wanted it to be. It ended up being this gun nut PvP arena game. And I was looking for something greater, like a roguelike shooter that felt really good, like Stalker. And it has its good feelings, like Stalker, it does. But the amount of walking, no map, the memorization expected, the fact that you can't really heal over time and stuff like that, it seems sort of like a little harsh for what little actual like game is actually there. And I don't think PvE sort of saves this. I think it's cool that you can work on PvE if you pay for EOD. And you can fill your hideout using... Or no, I guess, yeah, I think they're the same character, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. So, like, yeah, you can kind of, like, use the PvE to fill your coffers on Scav or whatever, but it's still the same old Tarkov. It didn't evolve. It wasn't really the game that I wanted it to be. And I like this game. It's annoying. Like... I killed a bunch of people and got through this and made a bunch of kills and scabs and stuff, but I don't know. The extraction part of it is sort of annoying. Being expected to remember where all 5 extractions are in that huge world without a map or a compass. It's okay. I like the hardcore nature of it, but it needs some kind of world building. Otherwise, I would just go to Mortal or Rust, you know? Mortal or Rust are superior to this because you can build a base in a world that feels like this. So it's still an inferior game, and I believe I don't mind installing it for 50 gigs and giving it another try, but it doesn't fit the MMO lifestyle that I'm looking for. It's fucking annoying. I like the game, and I'm glad that I can play it. But I believe we're going to uninstall it. I'm fairly sure. You were good, but I don't, I think I'd rather just save this space, honestly. So Escape from Tarkov. Went up on my C drive for 45 gigs. I'm gonna uninstall it. It was an okay game, but it's no good. Doesn't fit. It's good, but it doesn't fit what I'm looking for, which is kind of annoying.
Your auction of chunk of 4 meat sold.
Going to try and change it. It was a good view. It was a good look at it. it's I could gear up with all that gear and go in and kill a bunch of scavs and go further with it, but it still isn't the PvE. It doesn't have the PvE that I'm looking for. It's unfortunate. I need a mix of PvE and PvP, and the only thing that I've seen that actually is sufficient is Rust, and then slightly lesser so Mortal 2. And I was hoping that EFT might experience might give me that extraction feel like Rust without all the harassment or anything like that. But no, it's still sort of a crappy, clunky game. I don't think it evolved over the last 5 years. I think they pocketed the money, and it's going off the docket. I'm gonna do some Skyrim SP instead because the music's good, or Skyrim RP. Yeah, I'm gonna do Skyrim RP. It's that because it's like the music's good, the client runs, it's running well, it's not crashing. Music's great, it's good for the stream. It has good wow, what time is it? It's like
John Kim says, LF heals DM.
Night. It's like 10:45 at night. Escape from Tarkov was good, but now go back into Skyrim RP. We shall kill Harvest Watchers.
Aggro. Aggro.
You loot 31 copper.
Aggro.
Paradreed says, anyone need any help? Or meat shield to sub DMGS. You receive loot, wooden shield. You receive loot, flask of oil. You receive loot, okra. You receive loot, hops. You loot 16 copper.
You can't get the window correct all the time, and it's so annoying, Bethesda. Can't you fix this? You're so annoying. Alright, let's shoot some watchers. There we go. There, that time it ran perfectly.
Jazza has reached level 60.
No. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Darn. Live streaming.
Alldayerrydaybaby says, I need hops.
There we go. Public gaming. World of Warcraft save. There's a stop since he left. Seems that all the harassment has stopped since he left. Yep, it seems that it did.
Aggro.
This CC person, I want to block them. Uh-oh. Yes, it seems that the harassment did leave. Put user, hide user on this channel, and remove.
I wonder why the Dunmer are called Dark Elves.
You loot
It
31
makes
copper.
them sound really evil.
And, yeah. Seems the harassment did leave. It did end, yeah.
Aggro.
Yeah, the piece of shit fucking worthless internet fucking effing trolls will always win. You can't win a fight on the internet, you just must submit. The worthless pieces of shit are gonna kill the world.
You receive loot, people short bow.
With their fucking piece of shit internet nerd thughood, you know? They're gonna kill the world with it. They're gonna win. You can't fight it. You can't win a fight on the internet with them. They're too stupid. And they're on their way to killing the world with this sort of behavior. Congratulations, you win. You're turning the world into a piece of shit by just surviving, just
You
living,
receive loot, okra.
and acting as you do.
You loot 34 copper.
Because it's not a good one. But also to go through the current
Look at these piece of shit nerds step over and over and over again. Piece of shit, worthless cocksucking nerds. What the fuck's wrong with them? Did their father beat them or whatever? What the fuck's wrong with these pieces of shit? What's wrong with them? Their lives, the things that they do to other people, that the choices that they make and the things that they say are such worthless pieces of shit.
I guess a meltdown of some mainstream game journalists and publications about basically this being other people's fault.
I'm pleasant as hell. Just, you know, you were not a credit to my day. You were the fucking problem with my day, just like everything else in every other bit of your realities.
Azura is watching over you. My people, the Dunmer, built it. We fled from Morrowind after Vardifell erupted.
Brahmin can suck 50 billion bags of dicks. Goddamn fucking loser cocksucker.
Were given a vision that led us away from the island before the worst came.
Aggro.
This shrine is our thanks to her. That none will forget that she watches over.
Look, guys, I inherited another goddamn stalker asshole. Great. Fucking loser. Yay, another born loser from the internet. Yay! Oh, wouldn't our mothers be proud?
You lose 33 cover.
Is this one gonna stalk me?
Aggro.
The game is not popular, and maybe people not giving it a fair shake or whatever else, however else they're gonna put it. As well as, of course, that the numbers are even worse now. And one of the
watch me get in battles with these garbage crap people all the rest of my life. I don't care. Watch me. Watch me. I'm not gonna back down and back down today. Not gonna back down ever. Watch me civilize the internet as I fucking out all of these idiot fucking trolls.
Developers for the game went completely unhinged on social media because people were criticizing the thing that they worked on. So let's start off with obviously player numbers. Now, the reason that this is interesting is because this game
that's good enough for me.
Allegedly, you know, north of $50 million, but some people are claiming it's going to cost them over 200 million all told. What you've got to think about things like this was being developed for 8 years, and in a way, when you're actually playing it, when you've put the time and effort in to go and subject yourself to this video game, you do sort of question where did that money go and where did that time go. But then there's a weird sort of thing going on with Concord where the parts of the game that doesn't need attention and time and money, it seems like all of it's gone there, and then the parts that do need time, attention and money are just kind of mediocre or worse than mediocre compared to its competitors, basically. But we'll get more into the, you know, nitty-gritty and exactly what's wrong with the game and why it's failed in a second. First, we got to look at the numbers, right? It launched to one of the worst AAA populations of a video game I've ever seen. This is frankly embarrassing. They probably really wish that they could hide player numbers on Steam because, I mean, what can you say? 697 peak. I'm fairly sure my Twitch streams, which I do probably once every year or so, have had a higher peak player count than this video game, and my Twitch streams definitely haven't cost $50 to $200 million or been promoted by one of the biggest gaming companies on the planet. It's frankly embarrassing. We all know this, it's been everywhere, but what's even more embarrassing is just this drop-off, because there's a way to look at this as like, you know, it's failed for now, but maybe if some of the narrative, some of the things surrounding the game that definitely contributed to it failing were rectified, maybe it could come back, right? But this is kind of evidence that it can't come back, because what happens with, you know, live service games and a lot of games that basically require a population of players is that it's a snowball rolling downhill. And that works as a metaphor because the snowball
You receive
rolls
loot.
down,
Over.
and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it
Luke
goes.
says, "No, thanks,
And
game."
eventually, you're not stopping the
Luke
snowball.
26
It's
copper.
just going to get huge, and then it's going to crash into something. What you have with live service games is that snowball is the player population decline.
Alien says, I
Because
need you
you
to do a handstand
require
and say
people
your
to
chicken 3
play,
times.
and the faster people leave the
Alldayerrydaybaby
game and
says,
aren't
love.
playing, the faster it makes other people quit because they have
And
longer
you and I
load
make a
times.
great
The
couple.
matches are worse quality because
mean
it's
like a team,
broadening
not
the
like-
parameters of like hidden MMO and stuff to put you in games with people that are either vastly worse than you, vastly better than you, and in general it just makes games imbalanced, unfun,
Alldayerrydaybaby says,
and
"That's a
take
new
longer
Westfall
to
quest."
get into, which is another aspect of this game we'll have to go over in a minute. Because when I played a couple days ago, the population was a couple hundred
Alien
in the
says,
evening.
"Yeah, personally
Now
given
it's
out
going
by
to be
Alien."
less than a couple hundred in the evening. But of course, this game is cross-play, so there is that saving grace, I guess, because I think the game's more popular on PlayStation than it has been on Steam. Maybe because there's less competition, maybe because it plays better on
Nerd Reed says,
controller,
"XD if I can, I
or
would."
you know,
NED
whatever the
XD.
reason's going to be.
Alldayerrydaybaby says, LOL.
Basically, PC people have abandoned this game,
Cleared
they've
out, I
abandoned
guess.
ship.
You guys don't want to warn me or attack or
Now, when I
anything. Just
talked about
let him
earlier,
stab
you
me in the
know, one of
back, huh?
problems that
Jesus
plagues
Christ.
this game, and one of the things that would have prevented it from seeing big success in the first place, being removed, perhaps it could have, you know, saw a population growth. Well, that's obviously the box price, right? That's the elephant in the room with games like this.
What was that?
Basically, they've spent 8 years developing something and wanted to
I cannot
either
do
make it
my.
a premium experience to avoid
There
a
we go.
cash shop, or you know, to claw back some of that investment. Whoever made this decision, they sold the game for $40 US. I believe it's £35, so it must be $40 US. And
You receive
obviously, when you
plastic
look at
oil.
its competition,
You receive
not
loot.
even looking
Hops.
at things like Deadlock, which
You need 20
obviously is
copper.
basically playable now. Pretty much anybody can get in, and would
Yes.
not be a
Did you
direct
want
competitor,
something?
but I feel like if you're playing a hero shooter, you're probably going to try
I
that,
never
and then when you
enjoyed a
do,
little chat.
you're probably going to understand how sluggish and slow and lackluster this game is. But pretty much anything like Overwatch, other hero shooters, there's not that many because it's kind of a very difficult genre to gain a foothold with player base and have people continue playing for the things that plague games like this, like visual issues in terms of like readability and balance and things like that. They're something you have to constantly be on top of, as well as keeping it fun, and it just long term isn't an easy thing to do. That's why we've not seen, you know, games come out in this genre and really stick. Overwatch being one of the big ones that has, of course, but also for very different reasons, because obviously it's Blizzard and people love Blizzard IP and would play it regardless. There are things that draw from the pool of sort of hero shooters. Of course, Valorant's going to be one, Deadlock's going to be one, Overwatch, of course, dominates that genre. But others that came earlier than this failed, and what they've all got in common is that they're free to play. So you've got premium products there that already have an audience, that already have tons of content, that have a track record, that have big developers, and then you have a newcomer here that said, oh, come and play our game, but it's going to cost you $40 up front, and that's a non-starter for most people, because it's just kind of like, it's obvious. Why would you pay for this? It's going to go free to play or die. It's one of those two things. So if it does die, your money's gone nowhere, right? You might get some enjoyment out of it, but how much if there's no player base? You just have to wait a week and see, and within the first day we saw basically. And then of course if it does go free to play, you can just try it then, and if it does get money pumped into it, that's exactly where this game is going. So the box price is again a non-starter. But the thing is that none of those things really matter to Concord, because as an actual game, it's just confusing, it's messy, it's muddy, it's beyond mediocre, I guess, in many ways. It's just not a good game. Like, obviously a lot of people have done the culture war stuff with this game, because there's a bunch of characters that are, you know, unattractive women, large women, you know, there's not a lot of white men in there, and they've said, you know, the typical go woke, go broke, and the game failed because of diversity and whatever else. That's just lazy. It's a lazy narrative, it always is. Good games are good and they do well, bad games are bad and they don't do well. This is just a bad game. It's nothing to do with the characters. Like, some of the characters are pretty cool. It's a hero shooter, you know, you're not creating, you're not, it's not an RPG, you're not stuck playing these characters, you're swapping in and out. It's a competitive type of game. that shit just doesn't really matter, and I don't think it would have had any kind of impact on the sales. Maybe a little bit, but you'll tend to notice that boycotts matter not. And if you truly sincerely believe that this like woke, anti-woke thing that's going on on the internet right now is like a big movement and it has a drastic impact on the market, I'd suggest just leaving the bubble that you're in, because just factually, realistically, objectively, the vast majority of consumers have no clue these conversations are even happening. The vast majority of gamers come home from work to their wife and kids, they open up a video game store, they see a new game, they click and they play it. Maybe they'll read some reviews on the main page, but they're not engaging with social media in that way. These narratives are like things that exist in the bubbles of the internet that we operate on, like in YouTube gaming and on Twitter and in Discord servers. It's not something that's really impacting the market at large. People just see games and they play them if they look cool, and that's kind of how the vast majority of gamers actually interact with the medium. And it's the same thing with movies and TV shows, things of that nature. We've seen massive boycotts fail in gaming repeatedly on both sides, even when both sides are trying to boycott something. It just doesn't work. The reason that this game failed is that it's mediocre or below in all the things that matter for the type of game it's trying to be, for the type of audience it's trying to cultivate, but then it's above average in areas that don't matter to that audience. For instance, and I'll give you some examples here, because like I say, I did try playing the game. Unfortunately lost my recording footage, because apparently if you record on OBS and stream on Discord at the same time, it just records the audio and then freezes all the video on OBS, and I didn't know that, so I don't have any footage, so bear with me on this. It's just going to be me talking. Basically, the best thing about Concord is that there's like actual mocapped amazing animations and cinematics and things like that for the game, but it's not a single player game or a story game or something that has characters people care about yet. And this is kind of where the studio shows their lack of knowledge or immaturity or naivety, whatever way we want to put it, or their optimism, or you could even say arrogance. Because this is kind of like when a big company like Blizzard have traditionally done come in and say, we're going to make an esport, this game's going to be an esport, neglecting the fact that pretty much all esports that have succeeded over the past 20 years have done so because they were built from the love of the game, by the community, for the community, not manufactured in a lab, not manufactured for a test group. By and large, obviously Riot have done it a little bit recently with Valorant, but they kind of just have the code cracked because they have so many people who love the Riot way and the Riot IP, things like that. Blizzard tried it with Overwatch, and it failed tremendously. They pumped the money into it, hundreds of millions of dollars, and it was a tremendous, spectacular
What was
failure.
poison darting
Other companies
me?
have done the same, and in that
Get out of it, get out of it.
Concord arrogantly thought that they would curate an audience who loved these characters and cared about cinematics, and made cinematics and made this like a big focal point of the characters in the game, and obviously a bunch of time and money and effort and emphasis went into that. But just realistically,
Hot Stew has reached
nobody
level
knows
60.
the characters, nobody cares about the characters. It just is what it is. People coming to this game, maybe if the game was really good and the characters were really compelling, maybe they could have got into that aspect, but they weren't there yet. So focusing on that as like an out of the gate thing, it's cool, but then you get into the actual gameplay and it just doesn't matter, and it just seems like their focus was in really the wrong place in this. Because what this game does well, I'll go over that first. Obviously those cinematics are great, but they're irrelevant. The sound design is really good, which actually does matter for the gameplay, because you can hear people running around and things. That's great. The music's good. The actual gun sounds and animations and everything, the animations in general are great. The graphics are good, but the maps and the color palette of the actual backgrounds and playing the game is just very muddy. It's very grey. It's very dull. But the actual colors of the characters and certain abilities and stuff look good. The problem obviously comes in later on that the shooting just kind of doesn't feel great the majority of the time. A lot of the characters have like splash abilities. It seems like a couple of the characters are just really imbalanced good. They just have way better guns than everybody else. The maps are not designed
If
great.
there's
The maps
any way
are
I can
pretty
be of
piss poor
service,
actually.
please let me know.
And just in general, the movement doesn't feel good outside of a couple of characters. It feels like it's kind of in that middle ground of not being realistic, not being like fun, run around crazy arcadey. It's just somewhere in the middle and split between both in certain areas where it would have been better leaning into one or the other and being either wacky and crazy or being very realistic in terms of like the movement speed and feel and things like that. It feels like the shooting is like a secondary component, but then the movement is trying to be very I guess rigid, and it doesn't feel good in my opinion on a PC, especially when stuff like the dodge is like a third person switch animation lock thing, which doesn't feel great at all. And just in general, I didn't really jive with many of the characters. I didn't think they were well designed in terms of their kits or anything, and I didn't find any of them bar one or two actually even remotely playably fun. And this is coming from somebody who's been playing a lot of Deadlock recently, and think pretty much all of those characters have something going for them that makes me be like, oh, I could play this for hundreds of games and probably find nuances and fun in that. This just doesn't have that in terms of the minute-to-minute gameplay. The other thing that's very interesting is that, again, clearly they spent a whole bunch of money on animations and intros and things, and I'll try to put one up on screen here, but basically it makes you play the game less while you stare at animations that you don't care about. For instance, you search for a game, you might be a couple of minutes because there's hardly anybody fucking playing it, and then you see like a spaceship come down to the planet from like 3 different angles, and then everybody else is watching this too. Then you pick your character, and then there's like a little start timer. You get into the game might be over in 3, 4, 5 minutes, but then you watch an intro for 1 minute, and then at the end there's a bunch of credits that pop up and stuff like, oh, you got experience here. I'm holding the button to skip and it won't let me. And then I've watched like 30, 45, 60 seconds of my experience going up. And I've spent like half the time I was on the game not playing the game. Even more so if you get into like a long queue or whatever, which is going to be more and more prevalent. Having that stuff built in, like the animation at the beginning, like it looks cool, and you see it once and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. But then you're seeing it over and over again, and it just seems, maybe you can turn it off, but obviously if everybody's seen that, I assume that's like some kind of loading screen. But then when you play other games that have been made recently, the loading screen's like 5-10 seconds, you're in the game. Maybe you're waiting for somebody to connect, but you're not staring at this thing that just seems like it's on a fixed timer, or maybe it's even repeating if people are loading. It just doesn't feel great. It actually feels really bad. So obviously we can move on from the gameplay here, because honestly if this game came out and had no problems, there was no like murderversity, woke anti-woke shit, there was no box price on it, this game would still be in a pretty dire situation, because it just doesn't stand on its own 2 feet as a game. I wish it would have done, because it would have then been a really interesting conversation about how a box price can impact something like this. Where it would have like a road to recovery and things like that. But it just seems like pretty much everything they've really focused on for that time, making like great animations, great looking characters, they seem derivative of like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it legit just feels like you're watching a fan-made knockoff of Guardians of the Galaxy at the beginning, and it does feel like the characters are like aware of that or something. It feels kind of in your face, and that's obviously where the money and effort and things like that have gone. So then we move on to Free Gunner, who has now protected their tweets, obviously. Gameplay animator, anim_finder. Obviously direct no hate towards these people, because I'm sure they're getting a lot already. We're just going to criticize what's been said, because that's important. But at the same time, we obviously don't need to go and hate on these people, because it is what it is. That reflects poorly on us, and we don't have to do that. So, it's Concord release day. So insanely proud of the team and what they and we have accomplished. A labor of love like nothing else. Been playing it so much since early access started a few days ago, and I'm so excited for it to be available to everyone. Not everyone really, just a few hundred people. I'm so honoured to have had this be my first AAA game. It was a huge learning experience, lots of struggles, but I'm glad to have gone through them. Time to go play. And I mean, the animations in this game are great. Like I said, it's one of the strong points of the game, one of the few strong points of the game. Everything else is just very forgettable or not very good. So this tweet on its own would have been fine. Like, yeah, I worked on the game and I'm very excited for people to play it because I'm proud of it. and that's good, right? Everyone should be proud of the work, especially because the work is good. This game, everyone working on the game could be great at their job and put blood, sweat and tears in, but the game was sort of a failed premise to begin with, because they've been given an almost impossible task: live up to hundreds of millions of dollars and 8 years of development for a hero shooter. The genre, unless you're doing something incredibly new or doing what everyone else is doing but way better, you're not going to capture a market. You're not going to capture an audience. You're innovating in precisely zero ways. Your gameplay is derivative. Your character designs are derivative. It was never going anywhere, unfortunately, because obviously there has been time and effort and love put into this game. But yeah, you can be proud of what you did, and you should be. But then that doesn't give you the right to do this. So if somebody says, I'm sorry this has to be your first. I do not believe it is you or any of the other devs' fault that this game has performed so poorly. I can tell that a lot of effort was put into completing this game. It just came out at the wrong time and genre.
Have you noticed that people
not wrong.
seem to always say the
Maybe
same
a
things?
different time,
And people
but
complain
obviously
about me.
if this would have been 6 years ago, you'd have probably done more success at the time. You're way late to the party here.
Did you hear something?
And they respond with,
No!
I don't really care. You should. It was a huge labour from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. I mean, the market decides if it's an awesome game, not you. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm sure having fun playing it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So you're fine with the game that you are
Most people usually
essentially
buy me a
preaching
drink first.
to people on your social media about. You're fine with it
Have
doing
you
really
ever
bad.
thought that our
You're
lives
okay
are-
with that.
Oh,
You
is
wouldn't
there
change
something
anything.
hard in your pocket?
And then also
I felt it when you
calling
brushed
people
against me.
who hate on the game talentless freaks. It's just unnecessary. I don't know why you had to do this. Obviously, if this is your first game, I'm not going to wish you lose your job. I'm not going to wish you don't get opportunities going forward. Maybe you're very, very talented at what you do, but you need to turn off social media, because you clearly can't handle social media. If this is how you react to people talking shit about a product that you made publicly for that public
This is why I stay off social media.
Social media is not for you. You obviously can't take criticism, whether valid or invalid. You obviously can't take hate. You know, people shouting about shit on social media. And if that's the case, you'd be better off not doing it, because social media is not for everybody. Not everybody can handle it. I can understand if you put a bunch of time and effort into things, and then it feels like people are trashing it for reasons that are tertiary or even irrelevant or made up, like this whole, you know, woke crusade, anti-woke crusade thing, that I sincerely think makes almost no difference in video games and is just a way for people to grift money and get outraged about things that really impact them in precisely zero ways. Because realistically, again, good games are good, bad games are bad, and anything else doesn't really matter. You can tell great stories with a diverse range of cast, and that's just how it's always been. And now every day you see something pop up and it's like, oh, it has a gay person in it, it's woke, but it can't be good. And that's just not how things work, fortunately.
I would admire
So,
your courage if I
obviously
wasn't
going
laughing
forward
at
saying
your
things like
stupidity.
this, they then went on and privated their Twitter, and I don't believe continued posting. Oh, actually no, they did continue posting after this. They repeatedly just hid people's posts and then said,
They
pay
say
me $8
actions speak
to
louder than
unhide your
words,
tweets
so I'll let my weapons
and
do the talking.
unhide your reply to people. And this was getting likes by people apparently, because that's a reasonable thing for people to do. Obviously unreasonable. Glad that more of the devs are not doing this, but this is not uncommon. Now obviously IGN posted a video review and they said, this is the tagline, Concord isn't the most innovative or content-heavy hero shooter you could play, but with such fantastic interactive gameplay, 16 compelling characters to master, and 12 well-designed maps, it's got the makings of something that could go the distance. I'm just going to say that this is cap. This is not true.
You don't
this
look
game
so tough to me.
definitely doesn't have almost any
That
innovative
does
gameplay. It definitely doesn't have a heavy amount of content, so you're right on that. And it's not a fantastic competitive game. Like it just isn't. It's imbalanced. The maps are not good. I don't know why it says the maps are good.
Otherwise you would
The
be
characters are
growling
not
right now.
compelling in any way whatsoever, in my view. There's basically nothing to them. That they all feel. Some of them have absolutely awful toolkits, awful weapons. They just feel like useless to play, basically. And
please let me move. Please stop blocking me, you piece of
I'd
shit.
be very surprised, you know, if this game goes anywhere from here. I'd be very surprised if Sony doesn't pull the plug and just cut investment and just move on, because I don't think throwing good
fucking
money
aim
after
shot
on this project will change anything. If you felt that this was the launch, you felt like the game was ready now in this state, in this market, for this price, and you felt like focusing on these things that matter not to a competitive audience for a competitive game before having a cast of characters that people care about, you're just not capable, I don't think, of taking this game where it would need to go to recover. And you could throw another $100 million behind this, and it's
please move! Please move! You're so annoying! Stop blocking me, piece of shit! Stop blocking me!
A lot of money that could have gone towards
I cannot move! I cannot move!
Hit the audience and the market that they wanted to, but I don't think this game's going anywhere at this point. If it goes free to play and they put some work into
It's
it,
because I'm over, like,
maybe,
no.
you know, it could see some type of audience. But you'd essentially be trying to claw back, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars from an almost non-existent starting position. And I don't think that's worth the risk. I don't think Sony will continue to put money into this game. It just doesn't make sense to. It's failed in such a colossal, spectacular fashion that
You would think
I
it
just
would
can't
be
imagine
quite
that
hard
being
to
the
see
case.
inside an
So
arcade,
obviously going
but
through some of the comments, there's
apparently
the
not.
usual type of delusional
Please,
stuff.
pull out the
IGN
bow,
didn't pay
please.
big for this. No, that would have come out years ago. What typically happens is these game reviewers don't play games in the same way you do. They also don't review games in the way that you would want them to, because you're a hardcore, you're engaging on social media, and therefore you're already not the target audience in most cases. They're reviewing the game like probably is a 7 out of 10 in terms of like the actual game, ignoring everything else, like the minute-to-minute gameplay. Like a 7 out of 10 is probably reasonable for it. But when it's competition are like 8 out of 10s, and already have the market share in the audience and don't have a box price, these things matter. And basically a 7 out of 10 is just like a mediocre, like, yeah, it's all right, that's kind of what we've decided. A 6 would be a slap in the face. A 7 is just like, okay. An 8 is like where you'd probably want most games to be. It's just kind of how review scores work. You don't really see these big companies give super low scores almost ever, and this game is polished to a degree that I don't think 7's really unreasonable. It's just obviously a 7 in this.
I don't have
genre.
mana.
If you
I'm sorry, I
scaled
just
it on,
don't. I don't
you know,
have mana.
versus the other games, it would be like a 3.
So
but in the
annoying.
overall sense of like a video game, a 7's probably okay. The thing is that the way, you know, payment occurs in situations like this is just like exposure, basically. It's like the meme about influencers, like, oh, you know, let me do this and I'll pay you an exposure. Only these companies are like Sony, right? So they're not going to come out and say this is a 1 out of 10 dog shit, you know, terrible game, because A, it's not, and B, they'd probably just not get exclusives anymore from Sony. They'd probably not get review keys and stuff. They'd probably just kind of get like left out in the cold. That's how like payment works. It's that you don't want to like massively annoy people, but I don't think that's even happened here. Like, I don't think they've specifically given this a 7, which is again just a mediocre, like, oh, the game's not a total piece of shit score.
Please let me out of this.
But if it was,
please let me out of this.
That's what it would be. It's not like they're sliding dollar bills under the reviewer's door or anything. That would have come out a long time ago. And anytime something like this does, it's always the same thing, like I've just described. Oh, they don't want to give, you know, big publisher bad review scores and really go in on them, because then they'll just give the exclusive to another journalistic outlet, and then that outlet will get the views and the clicks that you would have gotten. And then if you do that for a couple of different things, your company dies. You just can't keep the door open. You can't pay people. Wow, IGN really did be giving out 7s all the time, lol. Yeah. How'd this get a 7? The same as Outlaws. Must be 1 point for every person still playing it. Got him. I only play innovative and content-heavy hero shooters. There you go. Adam, I thought his name said Cringler there. Dead game. Just make fun of it. Yeah, I mean, that's what YouTubers are for.
Why can't I run?
Compelling characters.
Why can't I run?
Still gone to the galaxy ship.
Where are my fucking people? Oh my god. Why can't I run?
Really
what is your fucking problem?
It is true. They gave a Days Gone a low rating, 6.5.
Please let me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a good look, but different reviewers give games different review scores.
What? None of them hit him. None of them. He was point blank in front of me.
On Days Gone. Maybe even the reviewer would, or maybe they didn't play it all too much, or just didn't like that genre. It's just kind of how reviews go. They are inherently subjective.
What can I do, dude? You're fucking bullshit.
This tweet than players on PC. God, that fucking sucks.
Can't handle 24 fucking mobs.
That's Concord. It's just not a good game, is it? It's not what anyone would really describe as being a good game. I'm sure some people are going to like it, because they always do. And they'll think everyone else is wrong and they've not given the game a chance. I would have loved to have had the narrative of like, oh, everyone else is wrong in this game's
fucking aimbots. God damn it.
But it's just not. Remove everything else from the conversation. Look at this game in isolation. It doesn't work. It's just not a good game, and that's just where it is and where it will probably always be before Sony pulls the plug inevitably. So there we go. Thanks for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed. Go buy some gamer subs. There's a link in the video description. You'll get a discount. I'll get some of the money you spend as like a kickback. So you save money, I earn money, all good. It's basically powder, you put in water, you drink it, and they sell shaker cups, things like that, all waifus and things. It's great. And check out my other social media and content, things like that. So I'll see you next time. Peace. Okay, it's time to talk about Dr. Disrespect, I guess, because it's been the hot topic the last few days, right? There's always something on social media going on.
Finally.
Especially in the bubble of Twitch and YouTubers and influencers and things, because they can't help but do things that are worth talking about and do things that are criminal and really bad that they shouldn't be doing. But obviously with the Dr. Disrespect situation, I wanted to wait at least a few days, because with the allegations, something like this doesn't just come out as a rumor or an allegation within a week basically going nuclear and people finding out what's real, what's more likely to be real at least, and what's fake. So basically, originally people were saying, rightfully so by the way, don't trust allegations without any evidence, because again, something I said in a recent video, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and there wasn't any evidence. And this wasn't like a journalistic report, because this is going to be a theme with this video going forward, and maybe a bunch of videos going forward. The people need to start understanding that there's a difference between somebody saying something and a credited journalist that has a track record putting their name on a byline and posting that story on a website, publishing that story. There's a big difference, and people seem to not be understanding that it's fine if you don't want to trust journalism, and it's fine if you have journalists you don't want to trust, but treating a journalist's report as a rumor,
fucking psychotic piece of shit nerds on the internet,
else, it just repeats information, is I think it's an odd way to look at things, because one is substantial and the other one isn't. You can have a conversation about whether you trust that journalist or whatever, but obviously then we're in a different conversation altogether. So basically what happened was this guy Cody Connors, who is a former a former Twitch employee, just randomly, apropos of nothing, just posted he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whisperers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. No one made the wrong decision. Fuck him and his boys. Now, this is about Dr. Disrespect. And obviously when Doc got banned, it was a huge drama, right? It was a huge thing and everyone was speculating what it was. And what people need to understand is that a company like Twitch is never going to come out and just talk to you, especially when it comes to like policy and people being banned or any form of like moderation, for multiple reasons, but the biggest one is liability. when they say something, even if they are nailed on with what they're doing, as soon as they start talking about it and giving details, they open themselves up to lawsuits, not just from that person, but essentially people building a case of like history and context and policy. What's the best way to describe this? Like application of policy and adhering to rules. Because if you ban somebody for something and you tell them what it was, and then somebody else gets banned for something, but it like contradicts here or whatever, they open themselves up for other people in the future using that information in a lawsuit against them. So they're never going to tell you why somebody was banned, why you were banned, why they did X, Y, and Z. Typically when it comes to something like that. So obviously once Doc was banned, they were not going to come out and say anything, and if he'd done something wrong, he was not going to come out and say anything for obvious reasons. And then he sued them, right? He took them to court, or at least forced arbitration or something to that extent, and they settled. This is going to play a factor in a minute when we start going over more details, but that's basically the timeline of things. He then went to YouTube, continued to rise, to be a massive success, to be a huge streaming star, one of the biggest to ever do it. And then obviously, like 4 years later now, after, you know, earning millions and millions and millions of dollars, and being that popular and having, you know, power over people and things, which again is going to play a factor, then this person comes out and posts this with no evidence. So obviously, when somebody posts something like this, you can speculate and you can talk about it, but you're basically speculating on a rumor. This is not a journalist. This is not somebody you should inherently trust. This is a person saying things on his social media, and then obviously it came out that this person had been basically posting like, oh, come buy our tickets to our show for my band or my performance or whatever, and maybe we'll leak why a certain streamer was banned, obviously talking about Dr. Disrespect, and he's been doing this for a while, like a year or something. So if it's something really serious, there's a few elements here that are important, and I'm going to talk about in a minute the ignored element of kind of what's getting lost when people are talking about this, which obviously there's the Doc situation, then there's the Twitch situation, and then there's also like the people who knew, you know, the insiders, and why this is like a bigger deal than people think. So basically he was making light of it the whole time. Like if the allegations that you're putting forth are true, which we now know that they are, basically, in a roundabout way, you're essentially trying to profit from and making jokes about somebody who is currently in a position of power over many people, in terms of like a social way and in terms of like status. Joking about them being a predator and you knowing and never like actually really putting it out there and trying to stop this person who could potentially be doing harmful things to children. So that makes you culpable, and also if you're like making a joke out of it, you look terrible. Regardless of whether you're telling the truth and it comes out as real, you're not the hero here. You're also a villain, and Twitch are villains as well when it comes to that. So then once this happened, obviously Doc came out and made some like really bullshitty statement. Obviously we're going to get to the big one in a minute, which is the huge thing. He basically said, Jake, seriously, I get it, it's a hot topic, but this has been settled, no wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. Now, the issue is here, this is legal speak, right? No wrongdoing was acknowledged. Is not saying I didn't do anything wrong. It's that in a lot of settlements, you'll have both parties will agree to essentially come out and say, whenever you settle anything, you always agree that there's no wrongdoing, because if not, you're admitting fault, right? And then there'd be no real reason to settle. Like, I've settled things before in a legal manner, and it will always say on both sides of the agreement, you know, I am agreeing to pay this, but I don't agree that I did anything wrong, right? And that's what the other side is going to sign as well. This is fairly standard procedure for any form of settlement, and they paid out the whole contract. That's irrelevant. Like, that's not even a point. That's whether they had to pay you or not is not part of the conversation. So it's a really weak defense, basically, and then he came out and said, listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can since this is
You're
the fucking
lucky I have
internet.
company,
I didn't do
so
anything
I can
wrong.
do unspeakable things to your corpse.
We're gonna fucking see in a minute that that's not true. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid Elden Ring Monday. Now, they wouldn't be looking for illegal actions during a civil matter. These are two different things, although depending on where you are and how serious it is, during like discovery for any kind of like civil case or anything, they would potentially have felt obligated to, or would have reported this to authorities and had some form of like criminal investigation if it was very, very serious. Obviously, we're going to get to now, we don't know how serious, but we know things happened. So then today, today for most of you, yesterday for me, Cecilia Di Anastasio, which is a credited journalist who's written a lot of stories and has, as far as I'm aware, a pretty good reputation and standing, wrote an article on Bloomberg, which should basically tell you this is a fairly nailed-on thing. YouTube adopted disrespect was allegedly kicked off Twitch for messaging minor. Now it goes over here, and I'm not going to read the whole article, but you should. I'll leave a link in the video description. It goes over basically this journalist has spoken to at least 5 different people, 5 different sources, whether you want to say that they're primary or secondary sources based on the fact that they're employees that were involved in the situation and not Doc or this alleged minor. Basically they're saying they looked at his whispers, his direct messages on Twitch, and found that he'd been speaking to a minor, basically, and they say here specifically it says exchange sexually explicit messages with a minor through the service's direct chat feature, and then also asked a minor about her plans at the TwitchCon convention, according to 2 of the people who asked not to be identified, which is normal procedure. Now obviously, again, the timeline of things here is people originally, some people were calling him every name under the sun with no evidence. Some people were defending him, saying that it's just rumours, which is true. This is how things should operate. If somebody just comes out and says something about somebody, we shouldn't just immediately assume it's true. As soon as this report dropped, you basically can bet your house on this. This is some people were saying, some people I even like, some big content creators on Twitter that have been going back and forth on this were saying, oh, they're just repeating what was said. They're just repeating the rumor. As soon as, again, this journalist is not repeating the rumor. They're verifying based on their sources, which is how all journalism works. If you don't want to trust the process, if you don't want to trust the individual, understandable. But basically this, for me, pretty much confirms, you know, without seeing a fucking video of it, with him, what level of evidence do you need, basically, if you're not going to trust this? You wouldn't probably trust some random leaked screenshots, because you'd say they could be fake. So if you're going that far, you basically need a video of him saying, hi, I'm Dr. Disrespect, and here's my messages, here's my phone, and showing it. But obviously, once the journalist says, you know, I've spoken to all these people, this is what they say, I've verified this, they all work for the company, they've told me what's happened, you can pretty much say that this is mostly nailed on. And then obviously we get to the point of Doc comes out and basically confirms it. He literally, he just says he did it, basically. But then also tries to pretend that he didn't do anything wrong, even though he admits to the wrongdoing. He says, let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you guys know, there's no filter with me. I've always been up front with you guys, which is why I'm here now. I'm not going to read this whole thing, by the way. I'm just going to skim through it. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened. He talks about his sponsors dropping him basically into his game studio and him parting ways, which was a part of the timeline I left out because it's not massively important, but was a nod to the fact that this was going to come out and happen. And then he says basically due to the terms of his agreement he couldn't speak about this, but now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, he can. And then he says, and this is the fucking, this is just it's over, bro, you've done it. He says, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Right, case closed, fucking wrap it up, boys, walk away. It's done. There's no circumstance, and again we're gonna in a minute, well, we might as well just say it, were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Irrelevant. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. I'm of the opinion that no adult, like if you're 22 and you know you're playing fucking League of Legends and you speak to a 17-year-old normally, you know, that's fine or whatever. If you're 22 and you're seeking friendship with people under 18, a little bit weird, but obviously if nothing untoward happens, then and you keep it, you know, PG-13, then fine. If you're 30 and you're playing games with minors and spending time speaking
Please
to
stop
minors,
blocking me.
I just think that's fucking weird. Even if you're not doing anything, and obviously this is a bias that I have, I just think it's weird because at the stage of you being 30 in your life, there is nothing that you can gain in terms of like intelligent conversation or, you know, a value add to your life by talking to somebody who has not lived life yet. Obviously, like, this depends, but in like a friendship type of way, or where you're messaging back and forth and being playful and things with a minor, this is fucking weird, even if there's no inappropriate angle to it. But obviously if you're super rich, super famous, you're married, you've got a kid, and you're talking inappropriately to minors, it doesn't matter. As soon as you admit to that, you're a fucking creep, you're a weirdo, you're a groomer, whatever you want to call it. As soon as you admit to doing that, it's over, bro. Like, nobody should ever take anything you say seriously. Everybody should look at you as a suspicious fucking loser, basically. And then obviously he goes on to say, you know, I'm not a pedo, I'm not a predator, blah blah blah, but you literally were talking inappropriately with a minor. There's no fucking two ways about it. You can't slice this any other way. And then obviously he goes on to say, like, to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. And that's it. Like, they're not haters, bro. For, you know, I used to watch Doc's content. I liked his content. I defended him when he cheated on his wife because obviously people are complex. Things happen, shit happens, and he's just a human at the end of the day. But there's no defending this one. Obviously the question is, what was the level of inappropriate? Because obviously there's a degree here, but it seems like a waste of time even talking about that, because we're probably never going to find out. And on top of that, like, as soon as you hear the word inappropriate and minor, it doesn't matter that much, right? A tiny bit's enough to label you as a fucking weirdo, because then you have to start bringing into question, like, what would have happened? Has this happened before? Would he'd probably do it again if he felt comfortable doing it at that point? He obviously has like some kind of idea in his head that this was okay. So anything after that is just kind of like, it's already enough to condemn him, so we can just kind of move on. And then he basically says, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. You are. I'm not going anywhere. You said you were quitting already, and most social media platforms are probably going to distance themselves from you anyway. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. Yeah, this, to be fair, this was 7 years ago, but you were an adult. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. This, the funny thing is, well, is this was edited 3 times, and he repeatedly just kept changing whether it said minor or not. The first one, as you can see, said individual minor, and then the second one, he removed the word minor. As you can see here, he removed the word minor, and then he went and re-added the section. So yeah, he's fucked, basically. Now, a thing here that I've not seen a lot of people talking about.
God damn it, man! I cannot set bank in Stormwind.
In terms of like a
just like will not let me do it. I'm gonna go do it now.
Way, but this guy's, we've seen enough. Right?
No, I don't
should
know.
Be defending this
I don't
at
have
this
to
point.
leave.
If you want to have a conversation about like the extent, whatever else, that's you can fucking do that. I think that's too far beyond the pale for me. He just is that guy for me. So never gonna watch him again. And don't give a fuck what his opinion or what he says on anything.
I never watched him in the first place.
Anybody really talk about is how the fuck did Twitch know, and what does this mean for Twitch and some of the people involved and some of the journalists. Well, obviously people have been talking about like NDAs. An NDA doesn't preclude other people from talking about this. It's between the signed parties. Obviously, if somebody worked at Twitch and then talked about this, there would be potential of like a lawsuit. But to be honest, if it's true, you probably wouldn't be all that worried about
You
him
return copper.
suing you for defamation in the United
receive
States,
loot.
because if it's true and you know it to be true,
You
you
receive
didn't
loot.
sign
Room letters
anything,
scraps.
Children creep me
I'd
out.
see it as like
Is it just
an
me, or
obligation
do they
for
all
you
look
to
the
say something
same?
and maybe protect people in the future.
we had
The same
kids,
goes for Twitch.
what do you suppose
Now the
they
big
would
thing
look
here
like?
is that obviously,
Oh, no,
why the
I
fuck did
meant
Twitch hide this and why did they settle?
Not that I would want to.
Which just shows that
Although,
they did something wrong. And some of the rumors
just
were
going to shut up
they
now
just
before
wanted to get
I
rid of him
myself.
after the whole, like, you know, when he got banned when he was screaming in a public bathroom, which was fucking weird in and of itself at the time. They wanted to get rid of him, and they just decided to go through his whispers, which would be a breach of privacy and probably data protection and things like that, and then decided, based on what they'd seen from multiple years ago, to just ban him and not tell him why until obviously he took things to court. And that would be why they'd settle, which basically goes to show that Twitch has a fucking real big problem if that's the type of shit they've been doing. But obviously this is, again, a rumour, and we'll have to see. What does make sense to me, though, is that Twitch has obviously done something wrong here, because if they just got a report like the Bloomberg thing said, the report here, if they'd got a report from the other user within those DMs and then read the messages, I don't see why they would have had to settle, because within their terms there will be a clause for, like, don't be talking to kids, you know, don't do things that are illegal, don't do things that break these terms of service. This is on every website ever, and they permabanned a bunch of people over the years and never had to settle with any of them. So the fact that they did just goes to show that Twitch was doing something they didn't want to come out in court, which is why you would settle in the first place. You don't go into a situation where you've done nothing wrong and you have all the power, and you're also taking... I've said this before, there's a few reasons to settle a matter. One, you did it and you just want to get it out of the way and just fucking avoid going to court and having that shit dragged. Two, you didn't do it, but you did something that you don't want people to know, that could be used against you in the future, or other people could bring up a blah 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 that could cause more damage. And three, you would take such a reputational hit from the actual thing that you just want to get it done, basically. Even if you've done nothing wrong, you just want to get rid of it. Four would be, I guess, if you've not got the money and basically you just want to not risk having a worse decision against you in court later down the line. You can pretty much get rid of most of these when it comes to Twitch because they've got tons of money. They were taking a massive beating publicly for banning him because he was one of the biggest streamers on the platform and everyone was clowning on Twitch because there was no reason given and never would be. So there's no, like, reputational aspect to it. Them coming out and saying, oh yeah, he actually did these things and winning in court based on that would have redeemed them in everybody's eyes and seen that they did the right thing. So obviously there only really leaves that Twitch did something and they didn't want people to know, or they did something where they thought if this did go to court, even if he did these things, they would lose and they would have to pay a bunch of money anyway. So obviously Twitch have been doing fucking something behind the scenes that caused them to have to pay him, you know, millions and millions of dollars and avoid redeeming their reputation in the public's opinion for having banned him for doing something everyone would agree is a bannable and reasonable reason to get rid of somebody from your platform or all platforms, basically. Which just goes to show, like, there's way more here than meets the eye. So yeah, there are, like, some elements to this that people need to examine a little bit closer, and the question is, if Twitch were doing something like just going out of the way to try and get this guy off the platform by reading his DMs and then they found something, obviously that would be a gross breach of, I believe, their own policy, data protection, privacy, things like that, and it makes you question, like, what else could they have been doing and what else have they been doing to now, and why a lot of these employees that have been interviewed and been coming out about this, why are they former employees? You know, were they involved in some way if this was the case? But obviously this is just speculation, this is just rumor. If it is something huge like that, maybe it'll come out, but either way, I guess this puts it to bed, and I'm glad I didn't make a video originally when it came out. Like I said, it's always better to wait a couple days because things like this with such big companies, with so many people knowing, and with such a big personality, somebody huge on social media, there's always going to be something that comes out more within the next couple of days, especially when it comes to they're going to say something anyway. Easy to read between the lines and see what people are saying. But I didn't have it on my bingo card when I woke up today and thought I'll post a video about this. That within a couple of hours he was going to post and basically say, yeah, fucking slap on the irons, boys. I actually did it. And also to basically say, you know, oh, to the haters, no bro, that's actually just normal, well-adjusted people who don't think you should be talking inappropriately to minors. And if you're saying inappropriately, I don't know what the actual thing you were doing, because obviously nobody's going to admit to the actual reality. They're going to try and downplay it, right? Which is what he tried to do when he removed minor, added minor, and saying that, you know, oh, it's just the haters and blah blah blah. I didn't do this. I'm not a predator. By definition, if you're talking inappropriately to minors, you kind of are. I assume this is not the end of it, and we'll see more come out, because this is like the big thing now, and everybody's going to be talking about it and trying to get to the bottom.
Dark
and
days in your time.
maybe the victim comes out and posts the messages or something like that. But yeah, I'll cover it if it comes up. As it stands though, there's no reason to defend him anymore. I of course was originally going to make the video of, until there's evidence, until there's credible reports, then you've got to assume he's innocent and he's done nothing wrong, because if not, what sort of world are we living in? I know the fucked up one that we have been living in for a while, where people do this anyway, but what sort of world would it be where you could destroy somebody's life based on just a random person or a couple of random people saying something with no credible anything, nobody doing any research, nobody doing any investigation, nobody putting their name to it as somebody who has built up some kind of tenure and credibility in the industry and a track record. But yeah, there we go. It's a shame, but fucking big YouTubers, man, and big Twitch streamers try not to be a fucking creepy predator. Challenge impossible mode. So there we go. Thanks for watching as always. Buy game subs. Which one we got here? Anime Girl Die. Buy them. Link.
There's someone there. This what you want?
I think I want to turn their voices off too. It's really annoying. I'm not doing this game for the story. Gotta go south, but that's over the mountain. That might be trouble if I pull like a dragon or something like that. Why is the courier chopping woods?
Riches beyond imagining. I found these words inscribed in ancient dwarven ruins in the Reach. I believe they mark the entrance to a forgotten city. My brother went in a few days ago and hasn't returned. I need someone I can count on to go in after him and bring him back alive. I've heard great things about you, which is why I'm asking for your help. I'll be waiting for you in the ruins. Please hurry. And remember, riches beyond imagining. Cassia.
No, I'm gonna change my loadout again. So I want my healing to be 1, my frostbite to be 2, my bow to be 3, and my not lesser ward, but oak flesh is 4. Right, oak flesh is 4, raised zombie is 5. And, yeah, and if I need flames, it'll be 6, but I'll do frostbite. 2, 3 is the bow. 1 is heals. 2 is my spell. 3 is... Yep, okay. It sucks when it's a bad day and it's all snowy. You can't see shit. I actually really like it in like a survival mode like this. It's actually like makes sense to go to the city and sleep until the snow ends. You know? I don't think I can get into the city. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough jump speed. It's close. Oh, it's close. Oh, almost. Let's just improve the jump height then, if I, like, honestly. It's still not enough. Damn it. Oh, I can hit that rim. Oh, nice. Yay for rim. Yay. Nice. He gave me 25 septims for the wheat that I had. We are going to the candle hearth. Pharaoh. No. I'm looking for a blackjack game. Oops. Ooh, blackjack, huh? Oh, please don't have, I want X to split. Oh! Oh no, it's a 9. At least he's showing low. I want to double down. Yep. Oh, this system isn't that good. It's unfortunate. I pulled a 19. Hopefully I... Oh my god, we both fucking split again. God damn it. Why are you fucking splitting with me? It's stupid.